Scrappy lost it, flipped an entire friggin' table, smashed a glass, and yelled so loudly that the neighbors called the cops. Why? Because it's not his small breaking, and Bambi has been concealing a whole child. Scrappy recently had the betrayal of the decade. It was a complete secret child with a completely different man, and Bambi remained silent throughout. It wasn't hearsay or a guess. A leaked direct message told him about it. Not an in-person discussion, but a screenshot that showed, up at 2:47 a.m., "Who is this young guy referring to as your mother? It's none of your concern," she added, because Bambi froze and didn't blink. "Look who's on Instagram, Mama D." Bible verses are being thrown like confetti as live people are shedding real tears. There are now allegations that Stevie J heard everything, since he had been too silent. Lying about a child not only betrays trust, but it also destroys the family as a whole. Not only is he upset, but he is now dangerous, and this is just the beginning. The room was quiet, the kind of quiet that speaks louder than words could ever hope to. With his phone in hand and his gaze fixed on the screen, Scrappy sat on the edge of his bed as though to absorb the message. An image was connected to a single text message that read, "Thought you should know." Bambi, his wife, and a toddler he had never seen before were all in the photo. Although the infant had a striking resemblance to her, including the same eyes and smile, Scrappy knew deep down that this child was not his. "Who is this, Bam?" His fingers were shaking as he texted, and he made 2 consecutive voicemail calls. Memories poured into his mind, making the walls seem to close in. They are now driven to pursue answers because this revelation, their wedding day, the birth of their children, and the promises they made have all been tarnished. Scrappy drove to their house, which is now a covert hideout but was formerly their home. Bambi was surprised to see him there. "We need to talk," he remarked, gesturing with his phone. Her expression was a mask of shock, remorse, and dread as she gazed at the photo. "It isn't what you believe." She began to explain that during a time of separation, he had insisted that Bambi have the child from a brief connection, but she paused before admitting that she had kept it a secret out of fear of criticism and the dissolution of their family. During this time, Scrappy felt the ground shift beneath him. With the weight of betrayal bearing down on him, the woman he loved, and the life they had built together now shrouded in lies, he departed silently. Fans, friends, and family started to question how this could have happened once the word got out. The tale was quickly taken up by the media, and headlines soon declared that little Scrappy's world had been wrecked by Bambi's hidden progeny. What was Scrappy going to do next? It didn't take long for the internet to begin dissecting every aspect of the drama that the world was about to watch. Twitter exploded with screenshots of the child's picture, and websites with no name claimed to have receipts. Even a fake birth certificate with the father's name recorded as someone else was released by one account. Recognizable details about Stevie J, Bambi's purported business partner, and the enigmatic man who had been staying with the family for months were being pieced together. Bambi explained the mystery post, the nights she wasn't home, and the vacations she took as work-related. You could tell Mama D wasn't going to take it easy when she took over. She went live the same evening, and before she could say a word, admirers crowded the comments section. Stevie J shared images of a bottle and baby shoes along with the subdued remark, "Big blessings loading." Is the plot truly becoming thicker? She spoke the words, "I warned you that woman wasn't the appropriate fit for my kid," shuddering. "I was aware that the garden had a snake, and everyone is impacted." Is Stevie J the father who was cheating on Bambi the entire time? Erupted into the discussion. Scrappy needs to take that baby for a DNA test as soon as possible. But Mama D wasn't done yet. "This is deeper than you all realize," she remarked. "My son was set up, and there are contracts, talks, and paperwork that were signed behind closed doors." Suddenly, this was a conspiracy, rather than merely a controversy. She mentioned being betrayed by persons they trusted, and those closest to them as the live stream continued. "I got receipts, voice notes, and direct messages." She additionally stated, "This ain't no rumor, this is real life. My son is broken, y'all," stating, "He called me last night crying." As if she had just lost everything, she paused, wiped away a tear, and wept. Simultaneously, Scrappy had disappeared from social media, made no announcements, and done nothing else, which inevitably made things worse because silence is loud when people are looking. During that period of silence, unnamed individuals started to share their thoughts. One of them asserted that Bambi had been leading a double life for almost 2 years, raising the child in a different apartment that Stevie J himself had paid for. According to a second person who was allegedly connected to the Love and Hip Hop production crew, this strategy had been deliberately kept under wraps in order to protect specific reputations. When the truth was out, blogs ate it up. NDAs were disintegrating. Lil Scrappy was having an emotional breakdown, and everyone was following her every move. That much was clear. However, the stillness was short-lived as Lil Scrappy eventually returned on day 3, but it wasn't what the fans had been expecting. YouTubers also experienced breakdowns, and viewers opted to back either Team Bambi or Team Scrappy. There was just one sad Instagram post with no live video, just a caption and a black screen. Pain is always genuine, yet everything isn't always as it seems. Fans, bloggers, and even celebrities started speculating within minutes about if it was about Bambi, whether the rumor was real, and if he had really found his secret child. But before everyone had a chance to breathe again, a bomb exploded. An anonymous whistleblower who claimed to have proof of leaked medical records was posted on a dubious blog site. A birth certificate showed a child with the actual gut punch and Bambi's traits, but the father's name was not Lil Scrappy. An internet frenzy sprung up. Bambi and Scrappy were still together when the baby was born, according to the site, which also claimed that Bambi hid the baby by posing as a traveler and disappearing to a wellness retreat in Arizona, which was actually a private maternity suite booked under a false name. When viewers scrolled back to one of Stevie J's old Instagram stories from the past, his name reappeared, not as the father, but as the person who allegedly helped Bambi hide everything. Just when you thought things couldn't get much dirtier, they found a terrible background recording of a crying baby that looked like one of Bambi's children. Kirk Frost quickly offered a curious message after joining the discussion, saying, "Some people love to play with their family." No names or tags were used when the truth came to light, but everyone knew who it was meant for before the screenshots were out. Bambi begged her alleged baby daddy to keep quiet and not ruin what she had achieved in private texts, according to screenshots of those conversations that were leaked. So much so that one comment said, "I'm just trying to protect Scrappy. He doesn't deserve it." Never one to remain silent, Mama D went live on Instagram while sipping champagne and the anger of a mother who has been harmed. "You lied to my son," she said, "and to all of us. That isn't loyalty, that's cowardice." But she didn't stop there. When asked why Stevie J was even involved, Scott, Mona Mama D, had a telenovela-like face and said, "Because he's been involved more than you think. I swear that I will leak the video myself if it isn't shown in the upcoming season. I have cheekbones that are just like hers, but you believe I'm playing that baby." The explosive theories in the comments, which ranged from Scrappy being the biological father but covertly giving up his rights to Bambi being part of a protracted hoax, astounded viewers. It was also suggested by some that Erica Dixon was involved in the "why not in the meantime?" Ultimately, Scrappy's team issued a vague statement that read, "We ask for privacy at this time as Scrappy processes recent events that have deeply affected his family." They prayed for peace up until that point, but it never materialized since truth always finds its way to the top. How could you tell me such a lie? Were any of our possessions genuine? In an angry phone call that was caught on camera and shared by another blog, Scrappy was screaming and yelling as he asked Bambi. Bambi's voice sounded too calm. "I did what I had to do. You wouldn't understand. You broke me," he yelled. The public's grief then turned to solidarity, and many who had previously accused Scrappy of his past wrongdoings flocked to his page. "You didn't deserve this one, fan," he stated. "You were misled," he continued. "Remain resilient, King." The alleged baby daddy eventually stepped forward, though not on a well-known forum. "I don't want any of this. I don't want fame, but I'm not going to let that woman keep lying to me," he said, pacing and trembling as he went live from a TikTok parking lot. "My baby is that. If you want it, Scrappy, I have DNA proof." "I'm sorry you had to learn this way, dude. if you're reading this. The most startling aspect was that the child's name was a clear mashup of Bambi's and Stevie J's middle names. Screenshots of the paternity proof went viral on Twitter the next morning, indicating that the kid wasn't Scrappy. Let's talk about scandal. Former cast members started to voice their opinions as fans urged Mona Scott to speak up. K. Michelle posted, "Told y'all years ago these folks are messy as hell. There's nothing real behind those scenes." A hysterically giggling video of Jocelyn Hernandez was posted with the remark, "So the deer had a baby." Everyone chuckled, but Lil Scrappy said nothing until 2 a.m. one night when he went live in a dark room, sobbing and breathing heavily. "That woman constantly stabbed me in the back, yet I would have taken a bullet for her. We adore you, Scrappy, and the conversation was bursting with affection. You deserve better, so keep fighting." But Scrappy wasn't done yet. "I refused to play the victim. I made mistakes too, but I had to start over since this devastated me." He immediately terminated the live stream, and admirers discovered the next morning that all of Bambi's photos, memories, and postings had been deleted off his page. Even more telling is the fact that he silently unfollowed Mona Scott, Kirk, Rashida, and Stevie J. Was a battle, not just heartache. People started making conspiracy movies and piecing together evidence by pointing out side glances, awkward silences, and cryptic statements during the next 48 hours, which seemed like a cultural earthquake. In a prior statement, Bambi said nonchalantly, "Some things it's better off camera." Even though everyone believed it to be a television play, it felt like a premonition. A sudden new voice came into the chat area just when it appeared like everything could be resolved. Dixon, Erica. In fact, rather than posting a suspicious tweet or going live on Instagram while sipping wine, the mother of Lil Scrappy's oldest daughter and his ex-boyfriend posted a long YouTube video with the statement, "I tried to warn him." She claimed that although I kept quiet out of respect for her, I now have to tell the truth because everything is now public knowledge. Being a man, Scrappy didn't deserve this. Years ago, I informed him that I didn't like something about Bambi. Her speech was calm yet forceful as she sat in a softly lit room at the beginning. He stopped and looked directly into the camera, but he ignored me because he believed I was being spiteful. Fans praised her honesty and referred to her as the realest after the video received 500,000 views in just 1 hour. A video was reposted by Mama D, who was well known for her issues with Erica, with the remark, "Sometimes the truth comes from the place you least expect respect." Bambi said at the same time, "No post, no comment, nothing." Another shocking development, though, is that the alleged co-conspirator, Stevie J, appeared live from a studio shirtless, grinning as if the chaos delighted him, and then did what Stevie J always does. He threw gasoline on the fire and lit the whole damn match. Concerning people always getting my name in their mouth but nobody's showing receipts, he stated that everybody wants to act like saints, but behind the scenes? Indeed, the movie is quite different. One person on Chit Chat asked, "Did you help Bambi hide the baby?" "Listen, I've helped a lot of ladies hide a lot of things that aren't any of your business," he said with a laugh. "Tell me, are you still clinging to Bambi, or are you on Scrappy's side? Please share and subscribe because I know you'll have thoughts after hearing all the insane twists and turns of this story about Lil Scrappy and Bambi. We're going to release music next week that makes this sound like a romantic tale. What are your thoughts on this child's secret bombshell? Don't just do it as you sit there. Click like, as if your life depended on it if you're here for the drama, the secrets, and the truth that no one else will share. Remember that this channel is your front row seat to the most shocking, uncensored stuff. So if you want to be the first to know when the next bombshell comes, know that this tale is far from over. Scrappy played a little. Is Bambi the driving force behind all of this mayhem? Or is there something more sinister at work? I'm reading all of your comments, so feel free to share your ideas and most outrageous notions. Put on your seatbelt, hit subscribe, and get ready for the ride as we analyze celebrity scandals, real or imagined, without bias or complacency. Be curious, be sly, and keep those receipts till the next time.